Hi guys, Peter Finch here and welcome down to Finch Friday, your weekly golf Q&A. So without further ado, allow us to get into your questions. And I don't know why I'm talking like that. So start as always on Instagram with Scrabble Pants. How's it going? It's going very well. AJ Atkinson 1792. Hi Pete, my question is how many times should you visit a range a week to practice? Driving, chipping, putting, and is there such a thing as too much? So more about kind of practice time, I suppose this. As a general rule, as a general overarching rule, if you have 10 hours a week spare, let's say you have 10 hours a week spare to play, to practice for golf, what you want to be doing is spending at least half that time playing. Because that's what it's about. You want to be out on the course, you want to be playing. So let's say you play at a big golf course, lots of people playing in it. It takes about 4.5 hours to play a round. So that's half of that practice time done, half of that golf time done. So 4.5 hours to 5 hours playing time. So you've got 5 hours left in that week. Out of those 5 hours, you want to be spending 1 hour on putting, 1 hour on chipping, 1 hour on pitching, 1 hour on irons, and 1 hour on the driver. As simple as that. Do not get caught in the mindset that if you're going to go to a driving range, you're just going to hit full shots. You need to make sure that you're practicing everything. And what everything means is more on the short game than it does on the long game. If you find that you've been to the range and you've practiced for 10 hours during the week and you've devoted 9.5 hours to full swings, you are not practicing correctly. You need to spend the time to do the putting, to do the chipping, to do the pitching, because that is where the most difference will be made. Question from Pastor_Dusty, whose picture on Instagram looks flatteringly like me. He says, have you had to change your grip since the injury? Does grip style really matter? So overlap versus interlock 10 finger. I think it does matter. Certain hands fit certain grips better. Certainly in my experience, shorter fingered people with slightly wider hands, they tend to find that an interlock will suit them better. Long, slender hands tend to suit overlaps better. And people who struggle with a little bit of power tend to find the 10-finger grip suits better. But there's no particular formula to go by. I use an overlap, and I'm comfortable with an overlap, and I've not had to alter it since the injury. The key to this is just playing around and seeing which variation works for you. Question from Tom Martin, 1992. Are you playing in the British Masters Pro-Am again this year? If so, do you need a caddy? I hope I am. As far as kind of caddies go, well, I'll decide near the time, but I might run a little bit of a comp for it as well. Who would win, a scratch golfer with new equipment or a PGA Tour Pro with 1970s equipment? Oh, hashtag Finch Friday. That's from Shane C222. I don't know. I think you'd still back the PGA Tour Pro because PGA Tour Pros generally know how to win. They know how to get the ball in the hole when it matters. Question from Big Army. Hi Pete, do you have a routine when at the range, rotation of clubs, aiming at different targets, etc.? Yes, it's very important when you go to a driving range. If you're going to be working something specifically on technique, so just grooving in something into your swing, just grooving in a new movement, then maybe, just maybe, it's not a terrible thing just to be hitting shots, just trying to groove that new feeling. However, I would always recommend having a target in mind. I would always recommend trying to score yourself in some way, to make it competitive in some way. Because the fact is, even if you are just working on a specific swing change, you are going to have to be using that swing change on the course. Playing against your friends, playing in competition, whatever it might be. Always try and make it a slightly pressurized situation, because the swing changes will hopefully then hold up under a pressure situation. As far as games, I'm doing the Quest for the Open practice diaries. Please check out those videos. Loads of drills to use, loads of games you can use when you're practicing. Question from Liam Cal 93. Hi Pete, I'm sure a lot of us would love an update on your hand. Obviously you got back out on the course this week. Just wondered how you feel it's coming along, and we'll be back to full fitness so we can see you with some excellent course vlogs. Cheers. No problem. Yeah, hand feels okay. I hit quite a lot of shots on Tuesday and Wednesday at the Belfry. Thursday, at the Belfry. I don't remember what day it is. And it felt fine. There was a couple of shots where I hit the ball and then the turf where I felt my hand, but it wasn't sore. Today, I can feel it a little bit, but again, it's not sore. I think it's more the fact I've just not used it in that way for quite a long time. I'm not going to rush it though. So I'm going to try and get 9 holes in next week. May try and film it, may try and do a bit of a vlog with it, I'm not sure. But continue with the putting and the chipping. I'm trying to get back fully for the end of August, where I've potentially got a spot in a Euro Pro event at Hawkston Park down in Shropshire. So that's my main focus. But I'm not rushing. I'm not rushing back. Question from Vorzy87. What did you have for breakfast? Nothing today, unfortunately, which is bad. Should always have breakfast. A few questions here from Lewis Lacorn. I will answer one of them, Lewis. Thank you for kind of asking so many. They're good questions as well. Who do you think will win the last final major? It's such a difficult one because really at the start of the year you'd say it would come from one of the big players. So the Jason Day, Jordan Spieth, Rory McIlroy, Adam Scott, the way he was going, Ricky Fowler, these players who were at the top of the rankings. And really, it's been a year of it has been a year of the first timers, hasn't it, so far? Willett, Dustin, and obviously Henrik at the Open. So yeah, all first-time winners of majors. Maybe that will continue. Around the USPGA course, though, you really fancy someone like Day, like McIlroy. Big hitters, hit it high, can land it soft. The only question around McIlroy really is with his kind of short game, his putting at the moment. You can see he's just not comfortable with what he's doing. Jason Day is almost the opposite. You can see he's not quite fully comfortable with his swing. So if one of them two can get it together, then you probably fancy one of those two. But really, it's a wide open year. It's a wide open field, I think. There's a lot of players who can come through and win. Never know, Stenson might make it 2 in a row. Question from JK Martin 90. Since your injury, you've been doing a lot more putting videos. Have you noticed much improvement in your putting? Yeah, I've only managed to actually get out and do 9 holes. So on those 9 holes, I did putt very, very well, which is obviously a promising sign. The thing is with practice, and what I'm trying to do this year, and what I recommend you guys doing as well, is I'm trying to make my practice as competitive as possible, logging it all on this as well, so people can see how I'm going on. So when I get to the course, that competitiveness is still there. I think you can practice putting, you can practice anything within your game and it not be there when you get to the course. And because I've not played that much, I still don't really know. But hopefully, once I start playing competitions again, I'll really notice the difference. Question from J Morland 04. What is your proudest achievement in golf? Hashtag Finch Friday. Proudest achievement in golf. It kind of might sound a little bit cheesy, but I would like to hope I've not had it yet, if that makes sense. I'd like to say, and I'd like to think that what I can do within golf, it kind of exceeds what I'm doing at the moment. I'd probably say my proudest achievement is this really, is my YouTube channel and kind of all the social media stuff, how much it's grown over the last few years. It's been crazy and it's been a lot of kind of hard work. So I'm probably most proud of that really. Question from Lisser 2. In 2020, do you think golfers will still drop out of the Olympics in Tokyo? If the players stick true to their words, so they say it's just about the Zika virus and not so much about kind of the schedule, or Adam Scott's the big exception to that, you'd probably say that they would play. Maybe by that time it's a little bit more accepted. Hopefully it's a good tournament at the Olympics. And maybe they will. I hope they will. I still believe that golf can be a good thing in the Olympics. I'm not joining the negativity bandwagon that it should have never been there in the first place. I think it can be a good thing. Question from PTJ710. How do you keep such a positive attitude all the time? I find myself struggling more with the mental aspect of the game more than the physical. My swing is okay, but my mind game isn't. Now, the first thing to say with this is I never used to have a positive attitude on the course. So when I was younger, when I was trying to get as low as possible as an amateur, so when I was kind of 14, 15, around that time, I didn't used to be a very nice person at all on the course. And I was never a club chucker. I think I threw my clubs only a few times. But I used to get so angry, not with other people, but with myself. I used to get so angry with myself. A couple of occasions really stand out. There was one, I can't remember where this one was actually, but I remember hitting a bad shot. It was like a chip or a putt. It was something around the green, I remember that. And I hit myself with my club because I was so angry. I hit myself with my club. And what, if you think about it, what a mental thing to do, actually hurting yourself with a golf club because you've hit a bad shot. And that stood out. I can't remember for the life of me where it was. But that stood out because it just hurt. And I was like, you've just hit yourself. Why have you just done that? So I think that was the first time that I really thought things needed to change. And the second time, now the second one took place at a competition called the Rose Bowl in Penwitham, in Preston. I've never played well around Penwitham anyway. There's something about the course that I just can't figure out in my head, whatever it may be. I've not played there in a few years now. But I was playing in the Rose Bowl, which is a 36-hole scratch competition. And I got down onto, what is it? It's the 9th, 10th, 11th. I think it's about the 12th. It's a par 5, which is the lowest point of the course. And I teed off, and it was a slightly wet day. I teed off, hit it down the fairway, and I was going for the green in 2. It was a long shot into the green. I mean, it was back then, it was like 250, 260. But if I caught my fairway wood, I used to rip it. I used to hit it really, really well. And my dad was caddying for me. And I've wound up and I've hit this shot. And it felt amazing. It felt absolutely amazing. I struck it so well. Looked up. Couldn't see it anywhere. Lost it in the sunlight. I lost it in the flight. I was looking around, playing partners were like looking around, and they couldn't see it. They couldn't see it either. I had a look at my dad, he couldn't see it either. So I was like, where's it gone? I was like, well, we'll just get down kind of near the green. I struck it well. I reckon it's somewhere in and around the green. Put my club in my bag. Just took a little bit of a step forward. And I just noticed in the ground in front of me, there was like a hole, like a really big pitch mark. And I kind of looked down, and I looked down and in it, and my ball was in it. What I'd done is I just hit either the purest top of my life, or I just drilled it straight into the soft ground. Well, I lost it. I absolutely lost the plot. I was furious with myself. I was almost in tears. I was that angry. And kind of after that round, I could kind of see in my my dad's eyes. He was weary after the round because I'd just been so unpleasant, really. Not towards him or not towards anything else. I'd just been unpleasant to be around because I was so angry and I was taking it so seriously. And after that, I really just totally changed my attitude, because what I realised and what this long-winded story really is about, and hopefully you guys can kind of take something from this. If you are angry on the golf course and you are getting frustrated, what you have to realise is that anger, frustration and feeling positive, they are choices. They are choices that you make. You can have an attitude where you decide to be happy. You can have an attitude where you decide to be positive on the course. Being negative is a very easy thing to do. It's very easy to be kind of self-obsessed. It's very easy to shrink back into your shell and think the world's against you. It's a harder thing to do to be positive. But it is a choice. You can wake up tomorrow and you can decide if it's going to be a good day or not. And from that kind of moment on, I really just decided that I was going to be more positive on a course. I wasn't going to get angry with myself. I wasn't going to get frustrated. And it still does happen from time to time. You hit a shot and you're like, oh, why did I do that? But I can get over my bad shots very easily now. I can forget about them and leave them in the past. And I think that's one of my big strengths. So on to Twitter. Question from Eric Selyan. I'm thinking about vacationing to the UK. Could I set up a lesson with you? Yeah, absolutely. All our lesson bookings are controlled via an online system. So go to my website and it gives you more information there. Question from Andrew Nelson. What do you believe is the best area of your game? Hashtag Finch Friday. What I want to be my best area of my game is my putting and my short game. So at the moment, because I've been out for so long, I don't really know. What I want is when I get back to playing in competitions, I want my short game to be stunning. I want that to be the strength of my game. It never has been, but I want it to be. I've had a lot of questions this week, and probably more noticeably than ever before, loads of questions about technical aspects of the golf swing. Now, because this format is just me talking to a camera, I don't really feel like I can do that successfully, if that makes sense. Comment below, would you like me, and I might not be able to do this every week just because of time constraints, but would you like me to do almost a bit of a separate video, can I do it on a Friday night or a Saturday, where the questions that are asked about technique, I'll do a very quick rundown, almost like a minute tip on those, and then post them over the weekend or something like that. Would that be an idea that you guys would go for? Because so many people ask questions, well, so many people have asked questions about the technical parts of the swing that I just can't do justice in this video. So if that's something you'd like to see, comment below and I'll see what I can arrange. So thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Follow me on my other social media platforms as well, and we'll see you down here next time. Check in the description below, and I ask these questions on Twitter, on Instagram and Facebook, so you need to follow me on those to get your questions in. Right guys, thanks for watching. See you soon.